Wake Up Central Saturday starts now.
Right now on Wake Up Central, the second smash and grab in 8 days. The latest on a break-in at Zales. New details about the shooting that killed 6 people at a Walmart this week. What we now know about the shooter and the victims.
And prepare for a soggy start to your weekend. Coming up, have a check of your forecast for your Saturday, and it's looking a little bit soggy.
Plus, a group of young students are honoring veterans in a unique way. How some Arkansas middle schoolers are highlighting those who served. Good morning, and thank you for waking up with us on this Saturday morning. I'm Karen Fuller, filling in for Michaela Johnson with meteorologist Corrales Ortiz.
Welcome to the weekend.
Thank you. And it's off to a soggy start, I'm afraid to say.
It's about to, yeah. Right now it's pretty quiet, but the rest of the day is looking pretty soggy for us, just like what we saw for your Thanksgiving.
Sure. Yeah.
So hopefully you don't have any big plans, especially outdoors today. Shopping. Hey, just, grab that rain gear with you and you'll be fine. Here's a look at what we're seeing right now. It's a cool start to your morning, sitting at 49, cloudy skies, a light breeze out of the east. Our rain chances will continue to increase through the morning hours, likely being widespread by the early afternoon and sticking around with us. It will be tapering off later into the evening though, and then we'll be drying out for the rest of the weekend. Otherwise, a soggy Saturday in store. It will be kind of windy at times as well. Temperatures will be in the upper 50s for today. We do have a brief warm up in the forecast along with this potential for severe weather. So I'll have more details on that coming up.
Developing this morning, Little Rock police are investigating a smash and grab at the Zales at the Park Plaza Mall. It comes just over a week since Sissy's log cabin was robbed at the Promenade in the same manner. Here's what we know right now. Police telling us they were called around 8:30 Friday night. Witnesses tell officials there were 3 male suspects wearing ski masks. So far, no arrests have been made. The cost and damages of the stolen property still unknown. We'll keep following the story and bring you more information on air and online at thv11.com. Police in Virginia are sharing some new information about the gunman who killed 6 people and injured several others in a Walmart supercenter Tuesday night. The alleged shooter, was a supervisor at the store and left a note claiming he'd been tormented by his coworkers. We're also learning more about the victims, including a 16-year-old who had just started working at the store. CBS's reporter Bradley Blackburn with the latest.
Family and friends grieved at a memorial just steps away from the Walmart store where 6 people lost their lives. We now know the youngest was 16-year-old Fernando Chavez Barron.
I prayed yesterday night with my whole family for him. We got flowers and candles at home for him too.
Fernando started working at the store recently. Loved ones say he used his first paycheck to buy gifts for his mom. Walmart has confirmed that all of the victims in Tuesday's shooting were store employees. The shooter was a store manager who witnesses say opened fire inside a break room as workers were about to start the overnight shift.
He literally was just doing like this. He was not aiming at anybody specific. He was just shooting all throughout the room.
Police released this memo found in his phone where 31-year-old Andre Bing asked for God's forgiveness and complained about being bullied by coworkers. He seemed to blame the shooting on the belief that his phone had recently been hacked. Investigators say the 9mm handgun he used was purchased legally just hours before the attack. Virginia is not among the 9 states with a waiting period to buy a gun.
The rationale behind waiting periods is that gun violence is often impulsive, and forcing a gun buyer to take a cooling off period can reduce violence.
Authorities say the shooter, who died at the scene with an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound, did pass a background check before buying the weapon. He had no criminal history. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Back here at home, 1 in 3 women in Arkansas have experienced some form of physical violence by an intimate partner. For men, it's 1 in 4. From Thanksgiving gatherings to holiday shopping during a tough economy, holidays with families can bring a lot of stress. This morning, Frederick Price speaks with one organization helping what can often be a rocky time of year.
This is the season for families to gather with one another.
The reason for the season is good tidings and cheer.
But Derek Jones with the Union Rescue Mission tells me things aren't always loving and peaceful for some. Historically, he says the organization sees an uptick in victims of domestic violence around this time.
It tends to begin right around Thanksgiving and then through the first of the year.
He tells THV 11 during Thanksgiving, New Year's, even the Super Bowl, it's a high-stress time of year which can trigger a domestic violent situation.
We do believe that that's because of the addiction issues, the misuse of drugs and alcohol, the substance abuse disorder.
The National Coalition Against Domestic Violence says 37% of women in Arkansas experience physical violence, 35% for men. Last year, 45 women, men, and children in the natural state were killed in a domestic violence homicide.
If a woman's fleeing a domestic violence situation, we provide 72 hours of emergency shelter for them.
Beyond that, he tells me the organization provides a 9-month program at no cost where victims can receive treatment to help move forward.
We're treating not just the domestic violence, but we're looking at the childhood sexual abuse. We're looking at the trauma. We're looking at the anger issues.
And he says the holiday uptick is creating issues. Inside their shelters, about 45 women and children.
Right now, we are full. We have a waiting list.
But despite that, he says they are rearranging and clearing out space so they can continue to serve those who are looking for a better situation.
So we're just trying to stand in the gap and love on people and meet their needs right where they're at.
In Little Rock, Frederick Price, THV 11 News.
Right now, the group is building 4 houses in Jacksonville, creating more space for those who are fleeing an abusive situation. And they're also looking for donations. You can find a full list of resources right now on our website, thv11.com. The holiday shopping season is here, and plenty of businesses are ready to rake in the money those extra holiday shoppers bring. That includes businesses that you might have to wait until Cyber Monday, usually online stores. At North Little Rock Community Center, though, some businesses set up their own physical location to do some early business. One business owner tells us this weekend is their Super Bowl, and they are going to take advantage of every opportunity they get.
To see that those numbers are rolling in here today locally, it's like a super good feeling, not for myself, but also the other small business owners as well.
I love her sweatshirt, CEOing. According to a new survey by Bankrate, 59% of holiday shoppers plan to take part in Small Business Saturday today. Now, if your gifts are being shipped this year by the post office, you have about 3 weeks. The USPS says if you plan to ship retail ground on or first class, they need to be shipped by December 17th. Priority mail needs to be shipped just a few days later on the 19th. If you are a bit of a procrastinator, I feel your pain, you can use Priority Mail Express by the 23rd, and your gift should still get delivered in time. All right, Corrales, what's that one thing we should know about the weather on this Saturday?
Well, we had a wet Thursday or Thanksgiving, and for your weekend, it's going to be another wet one. Do you need that rain gear? Absolutely. It's going to be raining for a good portion of the day, and everybody has about an equal chance of seeing some rain in their neighborhood. So better look at that forecast, how the rest of the weekend is looking like as well, coming up.
And still ahead this morning on Wake Up Central, have you ever heard someone say rainbow in the morning gives you fair warning? Or it's raining cats and dogs or animals out there? Well, in 2 minutes, we'll break down some of the weird weather events in this week's Science Says with Corrales. Plus, a group of young students are honoring veterans in a special way. How some Arkansas middle schoolers are remembering those who served. It is now 6:09 a.m. on your Saturday morning, taking a live look outside over what is still a dark sky this morning. Shoppers getting ready to head out to those stores on this local shopping Saturday. We'll be back right after a break.